It ain't the left side or the right side, then it must be the fin side. Inside. It ain't the left side or the
Thank you,
right
Solo D.
side.
Welcome to another episode of On the Fin Side, where Brian Catanzaro and Paul Pickett are recapping fifth-round pick Isaac Asiata, the guard out of Utah. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker, iTunes, and on YouTube. Paul, I'll tell you what, I told you before the Raekwon McMillan pick that he was going to be the pick from a source that I had. I don't know if he was guessing, if he knew for sure, whatever, but I asked the guy in the third round to pick out one player that the Dolphins were going to take in the third round. He said Isaac Asiata. Dolphins end up getting him in the fifth round. They trade up 2 spots to nab him and then move down from the fifth to the sixth round. They moved down 11 picks for that compensation. But, yeah, this is a player, Paul, I expected to be off the board a little bit sooner.
I did too. I was glad to see him out there, and the way this draft shaped up, it's not unheard of that he slid, because there were a lot of players that slid, and there were a lot of players that got grabbed a little higher than people expected. So I was glad to see him still available. I like the mentality he has, where he likes to combine the intellectual aspect, as he put it, as well as the warrior aspect out there. And you can really see it in his style of play. I know there were some other guards that people were looking at this point, but he fits better in that zone blocking scheme. And he's a player that if you watch him, he's almost at his best blocking-wise when he pulls. So that adds some possibly exciting elements, especially given what we've seen from Jay Ajayi, given what we've seen from Kenyon Drake, and some of the other players when they get to the outside. He could be that guy that pulls and really leads the play, which I don't really see from Jermon Bushrod, and it's kind of a TBD from Larson. So Asiata could be a dynamic fit and could challenge one of those guys, probably Bushrod, to step into a role possibly this season.
Yeah, Asiata, a 3-year starter and voted in his conference the best offensive lineman in that conference. So not a surprise that he could challenge for a starting spot here. I did expect him to go a little bit earlier. I think he fell probably because he doesn't fit every scheme. He's 6'3", 325, more that Mauler type. Yeah, he has shown the ability for a big man to pull as well. He's also shown the ability to play right tackle. His first year at Utah, he played right tackle as a freshman before getting kicked inside to guard. So I do like the pick, and I'm thinking, too, that if Anthony Steen is the one that could potentially be in trouble on the depth chart.
It's possible. They've got a lot of guys with guard center flexibility, and so I think Asiata is definitely going to unseat one of them. There's a lot to be seen there. The thing I like is now they've got a number of bodies, at least at guard. So something should be able to shake out there, whether it's Bushrod and Larson, whether it's Larson and Asiata, and they should still have some solid backups, which even when we've had decent guard play in recent years, we haven't exactly had the deepest of backups. And that's one thing that Miami's set up for now, especially given the Asiata pick, is depth at the guard position, even if there's no standout superstars right now.
Yeah, I expect him to make the roster, and I wonder if he reminds Adam Gase of another big man who was a mid-round pick, and that's Manny Ramirez, who played guard for the Broncos a while ago. So we will see, but I do fully expect him to challenge for a starting spot here. One footnote on Isaac Asiata, too, if the name sounds familiar. His cousin, Matt Asiata, who had 10 touchdowns last year with the Minnesota Vikings, is actually, like I said, a cousin of his. So he does have the bloodline as well. So overall, was surprised to see him on the board. Glad they jumped up a few spots to get him. And we'll see if he challenges for the starting job here as a rookie in 2017. That will do it for our wrap-up of Isaac Asiata, the fifth-round pick out of Utah. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker, YouTube, and on iTunes. And if it's not on the right side and it's not on the left side, it is on the fin side. Solo D, take us out.
It ain't the left side or the right side, then it must be the fin side. Inside. It ain't the left side or the right side, then it must be the fin side. Listen, Dolphins fans across the land all tuning in to see what Brian Cat